Hi, I'm Peter Capaldi. I play the Doctor, and you're watching EMS Productions.
Hello everybody and welcome along to today's video, where today I'm doing something a little bit different. I have a special guest joining me today. Say hello to Joe.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Fantastic.
YouTube channel's called Rebel Whovian.
Good, good. Make sure everybody check out Rebel Whovian. It's the way forward.
Yep.
Such a good channel. Only underrated, not enough subscribers. Got to build this guy up as well, you know. Come on. But today we're going to be talking about everything Series 11, new companions. Apologies, I'm a week late for that. I've just been away, which doesn't really help. And Joe's going to give his thoughts on it as well. We're just going to kind of get a bit more of a discussion going than we normally do on my sort of video. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing, kind of the big news from this time last week, was the announcement of all the new companions. We got 3 seemingly new companions for Series 11, with Bradley Walsh, unsurprisingly in the end, turning out to be one of the main companions, given that it was rumoured about 3 months ago. Just took its time to be confirmed, and 2 other actors, or an actor and actress that I have never heard of, I have to be honest with. Joe, have you ever heard of them?
No, I've heard they've been Hollyoaks, but I don't really like watching soaps and stuff like that. So I haven't really heard of them.
It's just kind of, I want to watch something they're in, but I don't really want to watch Hollyoaks, and it's like I haven't really seen it. They haven't really done anything.
Ryan was in, well, not Ryan, Tossin was in Star Wars.
It was in The Force Awakens, wasn't it? I saw.
Yeah.
But he wasn't in it very much, I don't think, from what I read. So I don't know how that. It's hard to give an opinion, I'd say, at the moment on them, because we just haven't seen anything. I mean, what about Bradley Walsh?
Well, when I heard heard it's a rumor, I don't think I was skeptical at all, because I like that sort of, you have to have a range in companions, because like we've had a lot of younger companions recently. Nardole was a bit of a change with the comical sort of thing, so to have Bradley Walsh a companion sort of shakes up the layout of it, which I like.
Do you think that he might become a bit of a Brian sort of character, like Chris Chibnall did in Series 7?
Maybe. I have like a feeling he could be like a father figure to one of the companions or something, but to shake things up, but possibly like a Brian type character. Yeah,
definitely. I certainly think that's a possibility. I mean, I don't know whether they'll all be in like the actual TARDIS team. It's sort of, you struggle to see how they'll all fit together. They're going to have to meet somehow, but they don't seem to be sort of obviously linked characters, or look like at least. So what do you think? We've got a potentially, we've got a woman called Sharon D. Clarke coming in as a sort of a recurring character, but interesting, the article said returning character. I feel like that was just a misprint, but it did say returning at the time. Who do you think it could be?
Well, it could be just like a family member of one of the companions, or maybe a villain or character, like maybe someone like a Shielder, where they show up more than once in the series, but not sure who she'd play. No,
I saw she was like a singer as well and stuff, so it seems, I mean, there definitely seems to be some different casting, shall we say, with this one, when you've got like a game show host as one of the companions and a singer in a recurring role. It definitely seems Chris is doing something a bit different, shall we say.
Yeah.
And it's also worth noting that Bradley Walsh was in one of Chris Chibnall's shows for ages, Law and Order UK, for like years, so clearly there's already a sort of connection with them there. So the other kind of big news we found out last week was that we'd be only getting 10 episodes for Series 11. Even if we are going to be a little bit longer, it still appears we're going to have a bit less of a series next year. So Joe, what's your thoughts on this change? Do you think was needed? Is it a good move for the show?
Some people are seeing it as like budget cuts, but I'd see it as getting rid of filler episodes and focusing on possibly like, you're not going to have boring parts of the series. You're going to have full on straight into the story, nothing getting in the way. And I think the extra 5 minutes, although some of Series 10 did have 50 minutes, the extra 5-minute format, I think will improve some of the stories.
Yeah. And I'd also think, because when they were standard at 45 minutes, we still got some that were nearly 50 minutes most of the time. So maybe we'll get some that are more like 54, 55-minute episodes, even though it says they're going to be 50 minutes. So we could still get close to an hour anyway. Which I think is, as you say, is just going to help to flesh out, give a bit more for the story to sort of flesh out a bit, and as you say, lose those filler episodes as well. Like good old Sleep No More, In the Forest of the Night, a couple of classics there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good we got a long first episode as well. That'll be nice to just give Jodie a bit more of a sort of a longer debut, shall we say. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm glad it's not as long as Deep Breath, because there were a lot of scenes in that were unneeded.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it'll be good to have a not too short, not too long opener for the new Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, it's about the same length as the 11th Hour. I think that probably just about nailed it in terms of sort of opening story for a Doctor and giving enough time for it all. I think that's probably the best of the bunch. I do quite like Deep Breath, but I do agree it's probably about 15-20 minutes too long, and there's just sort of lots of scenes that are a bit wasted and just don't need to be there. But do you think it's an issue that we're losing episodes? I mean, I know you said about the filler episodes, but is that a sign we're just going to keep on declining in episodes?
I hope not. Maybe it's just to get the writers focusing more on these episodes rather than have more but being focused on less in terms of quality. Maybe it's a good thing that they'll be focused on more, but if more episodes are dropped, then it will start to be a worry.
Yeah. And there's also the whole rumour about it being more serialised as well, and we'll have sort of stronger arcs where the series are all linked together. Do you think that'd be a good idea?
Well, from looking at like the Series 9 where it's just mainly two-parters, when asking people, I knew they didn't really like it because when they left and jumped on in another episode, they were joining on part 2 and they were like, didn't know what was happening. So I think for a major story arc serial, it may affect the amount of viewers and how they respond to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one because you look at other shows that do sort of a story a season, and some do it really well and get a huge amount of viewing figures, and people sort of catch up on the episodes where they need to. So I don't know, obviously, yeah, you say about that sort of missing the first part of a story or something, but there's so many ways of catching up on stuff now. You could kind of say that maybe just go back and watch the last episode because it will be on iPlayer 2 minutes after it's aired anyway. So I don't know how much of a problem it's going to be. I kind of hope that we have a stronger arc to Series 11 just because I like a sort of more connected story than just sort of random individual episodes, which probably Series 7 was the worst in doing that and just having a bunch of episodes grouped together but weren't sort of linked at all or really that good. And that's always the problem. If you have loads of average episodes just plodded along in a series, it just kind of destroys the series if there's no strong stories there. The other confirmation that we finally got was that the series wouldn't be airing until autumn next year, so most likely August, September, even October next year, and it does mean it's going to be a very long wait between Christmas this year and actually seeing the 13th Doctor's first episode. So Joe, do you think that they could have got the series out quicker, or do you think this was just the only option at this stage?
I think this was just the earliest they could do it with. It would seem weird that they're taking longer because it's still only 10 episodes, but I wouldn't say taking longer, but for the amount of episodes, it seems longer. And with it being later, you've got shows like Strictly and X Factor coming on.
Yeah, that's going to screw things up a bit. Look at Series 9.
Yeah.
Didn't help it a lot, certainly. I mean, it'll be going from airing at 5:30 one week to airing at like 9 o'clock the next week, knowing how they like to move it around. So it is frustrating that it's such a long way, and as you say, for only 10 episodes as well, it feels like they could get it out quicker. I mean, with Chris, I think it was just he couldn't finish Broadchurch and get everything ready in time to start filming earlier than this, as far as I can tell. Which is a bit frustrating because it means that we've got another essentially 18 or good 14-month gap between series after having an 18-month gap between series just last year. It's very disjointed, it feels, these series at the moment, so I'm hoping Chris can sort of, at least from here on in, start to have more every year series we just haven't seen for way too long. It's a struggle to be a Doctor Who fan when you've got a series every 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you only get 10 episodes as well. I mean, I saw some people on the Magical Gallifrey base saying that we're going to get a series in autumn 2018, spring 2019, which I thought, how is that even possible? Are you going to just go and film 20 episodes in one block or something? Because that just sounds, given it's going to take them 9 months to film 10 episodes, and this isn't going to be done until, they'll still be filming probably June, July next year, realistically. To then have 2 months off, then go and start filming another series to start it in April 2019. I just can't see happening personally. But it's just such a horrible slot in the autumn time with all the other TV shows that they're clearly in a difficult position, I would say.
Yeah.
And it just feels like they're sort of they don't know when they want to air the show, because they've tried it in April and tried it in September, and their viewing figures have been the same. So there just doesn't seem... It probably it's just the show's getting less popular. I don't really agree with me on that, but Would you say the show's less popular now?
Possibly. Like, with me, I don't think it is, but some viewers that aren't fans would watch it with David Tennant because there was sort of you can easily jump on. But I think the US series is like, they view it as darker and more serious and less family orientated for them. But hopefully with like the big changes, it will become more popular.
Yeah, I certainly hope so, and I think this is the great opportunity for that. When you have got everything pretty much is changing, everything is new, it's a great chance, if they can get the promotion right, to actually relaunch this show, because otherwise I just can't see it ending well if this is a disaster, let's be honest. We've also kind of gradually had tricklings of news over the last sort of couple of weeks about things that are going to be happening, that probably will be happening, and all this, that and the other. So we found out the director of the first 2 episodes is going to be Jamie Childs. I haven't actually looked up what he's in. Joe, do you know what he's actually directed before?
He's directed Poldark, I think.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's
quite a
major show. Yep.
Looking show.
Yep. Yeah, indeed. That's pretty good credit for it.
I'm not sure about anything else he's directed, to be honest.
Do we know which episodes he's directing? Because I know he's doing the opening one. Is it the filming block that they're doing now, which is episodes 1 and 7, or is it something else? Because I know they're shooting episodes 1 and 7 in like next week or something. They're starting that, but whether he's directing both, I don't know. Yeah,
it doesn't say what episodes, but it probably will definitely be episode 1. Maybe episode 7, but we'll have to see.
And then some of the other news. I mean, writers, we still don't really know anything about the writers, unfortunately. I've heard Sarah Dollard's doing an episode, but that's nothing confirmed. Would you like to see that?
I'd love to see it because I quite like Thin Ice. Wasn't a fan of Face the Raven, to be honest.
Fair enough.
So I'd like to see a new territory with the new Doctor and hopefully given a little bit more freedom in what she does. And the writer's room should help everyone's script.
Hopefully that happens, and because that'll be good if it does. And yeah, as you say, it should make everything a bit more tight-knit and hopefully sort of more consistent storytelling and characters and that kind of thing, which is probably been lacking at times in the last couple of series. I mean, other exciting things, hopefully a new TARDIS, which will be nice to see, the interior more importantly. Have you got any sort of preferences on what you'd like to see of the new TARDIS?
I quite like the small, like classic style TARDISes, but wouldn't mind like a steampunk one either.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Not a pink one. I don't want a pink one.
No. That would be that would send the wrong message out, I think.
Yeah.
That would just be like we're doing everything stereotypical woman or something.
Yeah. Maybe there was this concept online of like the new TARDIS, but with the classic roundels and in that colour scheme. So maybe not with that console or anything, but with that sort of design.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more of a whiter TARDIS or a lighter TARDIS maybe than the last couple, which have all been a bit dark and sort of miserable. I like 12th Doctor's TARDIS, but it's all quite sort of dark in there. I think it'd be nice to give it a lighter vibe to it, like the classic series had a lot of. I think it'd be good. Jodie's costume, hopefully we'll get that soon. I still can't really picture what she's going to wear. Have you got any ideas?
I've got no clues. They've sort of done everything in terms of styles with all the Doctors, haven't they? So
I just don't have a clue what they're going to do. It's really interesting, though, to see what it'll be like.
Yeah, it should be announced pretty soon because they're filming like next week, aren't they? That means if they're filming next week, then the TARDIS should have been done already as well.
Oh yeah, I would have thought likely yes, but I do remember reading from when they built the current TARDIS set for the first time back in like 2012 or something, that they filmed all the TARDIS scenes for Series 7 at the end of the filming because they didn't build the TARDIS quick enough. So it's possible that they might not have at least finished the TARDIS set yet, and we'll just kind of bulk film all the TARDIS scenes later in the filming. Seems possible, but certainly there's a pretty good chance we'll see that sort of thing soon. I can't actually remember if they kind of revealed the TARDIS interior sort of in like promo photos or anything like that because it was too long ago the last time they did it to actually remember.
For the Matt Smith one, for the Snowman, I'm pretty sure it was announced. I remember seeing it on the Doctor Who site, I think, because it was an article saying new titles, new TARDIS, and it was that shot of him when he clicks his fingers and not clicks his fingers, pulls the lever and the lights come on.
Yes, yeah, I know the one you mean, yeah, and the Snowman. Hopefully it would be nice to just kind of get that sort of thing, just to give us something to look at, something to look forward to a bit. when it's probably still 10 months till we actually get the series and actually get to see the stuff in action. So, but I certainly agree we should get a costume pretty soon. The TARDIS might take a little bit longer, but I would have thought the next week or two we should get a costume reveal, because as soon as Jodie goes and films outside anywhere, someone's going to take a picture.
Yeah, the exterior of the TARDIS should be done, so we'll be seeing that pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it would be really any different?
I hope so. Hopefully smaller.
Yeah, go back to the more
Because when
classic.
compared with the final one, yeah.
Yeah, classic style sort of tiny one. I mean, when you look at that picture in the Twice Upon a Time trailer, the two TARDISes next to each other, it shows how much smaller the old TARDIS is compared to the new ones. I definitely agree that it'd be nice to go back to a sort of smaller, more classic style TARDIS exterior at least. But do you think we should go down the route of everything new, lots of new things, or bring back villains a bit, or what do you think about all of that?
I think for Jodie's first series, it shouldn't be all old stuff, because they need to not bore the audience or say, oh, we're keeping these things so you come back, even if you don't like the new stuff. But I think it will mostly be new stuff for the first series. Daleks will be a given.
Yes, yeah, we'll get a Dalek. I mean, I think it's in the contract they have to have a Dalek every year, so I'm sure they'll get at least a cameo. Would you like to see a Dalek story or just a Dalek cameo?
I think Dalek story would be good. I'd like to see how Chris Chibnall writes them. So I don't think he's ever written them before.
No, he hasn't actually. That is a good shout. Though I hope they're not the finale. It'd be nice to have a new villain as the finale villain for once, when it seems to be the Dalek Cybermen on Master has been pretty much every single one in New Who, other than the Silence, I guess, in Series 6 and Series 7, actually. But other than that, it'd just be nice to I personally prefer pretty much everything new, just to kind of refresh the show as well, give something new to the Doctor universe, rather than just rehashing all the old stuff like to some degree Stephen's been doing the last 2 seasons. Certainly Series 9 was kind of how many classic stuff and continuity references can we get in a series. So in terms of other changes for Series 11, it seems to be a complete reboot. We'll probably likely get new titles, new theme music, potentially a new composer as well. I saw that Murray Gold most likely is going to be leaving after this series. I mean, Joe, would you be disappointed if Murray Gold does choose to leave at the end of this series, or for next series?
Yes, I know, because he has done some pretty memorable scores, but over the past few years, he does seem to be losing his distinctive sound. But I'm sure I read somewhere that Moffat is restricting on what he could do. He says, make it fairy tale-y and stuff like that. So maybe it's due to Moffat, but I think Blair Mowat, if Murray Gold did leave, Blair Mowat would be a good composer.
Yeah.
He did the music for Class.
Of course, Class, yeah. And I think did a really good job at that. I really liked the music for Class. It was nice and it was very different to the Doctor Who stuff, but I thought it was almost less orchestral, I think, than what we've had in Doctor Who. It was a bit more sort of electric guitar, synthesizers, all that kind of thing, which I think would be nice for the show to kind of go back to a little bit.
He also did the music for the Time for Heroes trailer.
Yes, of course he did. Yeah, that was a really nice piece of music as well, I thought. So he's definitely done some good stuff there. And I mean, I do like Murray Gold. I agree with you that he's definitely done less good stuff the last couple of series. I mean, he's had the odd highlight, like Heaven Sent, and I think probably the Well Enough in Time and the Doctor Falls also were highlights, probably Extremes as well. I really like the soundtrack too, but other than that, there's just certainly Series 10 just felt like most of the episodes didn't really have any kind of great pieces of music that you keep going back to and listening to. At least that was the sort of perspective I had on it. So I was a little bit disappointed about that, and maybe that does say time for a change, give the show a new feel, because the music gives a lot of sort of impact.
Hopefully. I don't want the DW thing.
That was
didn't like that.
I feel like some of the producers on Twitter, I think it was Ed Russell on Twitter, said how terrible an idea that actually was as well, in hindsight, because it's calling it Dr. DW Who. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, really. I mean, would you like a more sort of classic logo, like the ones you get on all the old DVD releases and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it would make a nice change. Because with the Tennant ones, you got like the what do you call it? Like a stretched oval type thing.
Yeah, the orange, nice fiery orange with the stretched oval on it. Yeah.
But afterwards, it was just like plain text. They didn't really do much with it. So I think like on some of the action figure boxes, they have like the diamond with the logo in. So maybe something like that.
What is that, like the classic Tom Baker logo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. That is a really nice logo as well. I do like that one. And just maybe do something with the sort of the background for the logo. Don't just have the text, as you say. Actually have more of a a mark or a shape around the logo just to make it a little bit different. Be quite nice. Do you want to see Jodie's face in the title sequence?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Proper sort of. What one would you like it to be most similar to?
Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah, I was thinking that one. That's a really good one. I think having Jodie's face in there would be really good. Because we've only had Capaldi's eyebrows. It's been disappointing, really, or eyes and eyebrows. I think for his sequence, which has been a bit disappointing, really. And then also mentioning in terms of the format, it's obviously interesting whether we'll get 2-part stories now because the episodes are a bit longer. Although they might do a full-on serialised series, or whether they'll just do a couple of 2-parters with less episodes. Maybe they'll just go for individual episodes. What do you think?
I think the final will probably be a 2-parter. I'm not sure whether they'll have 2-parters in the middle, due to if they're going to have a 2-parter, then there'll be less settings, like stories in the series.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Because you could suddenly end up, if you kind of have two 2-parters in there, you're suddenly left with, 7 stories, and that's it. Yeah, I think 2-parters we probably should avoid in the most part for Series 10 just because there's not enough episodes. And as you say, you're just going to lose most of the stories and have so few stories for it, which will be a bit... Because we want variety, I think, in the show as well. Have, as much as we can, a different location every week, but with maybe a story arc or sort of a storyline going through the series to some degree as well. If the best of both worlds are possible. Right, well, I think that's pretty much all we've got to say about Series 11 at the moment, simply because there is no other news. It's a bit disappointing. I mean, we'll just have to keep waiting. Thank you very much, Joe, for coming on and chatting about Series 11 today. Have you enjoyed just having a bit of a chat?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for coming on. And I mean, it's also a sort of... say to anybody, if you do ever want to try and come on a video, do a video with me, do drop me a comment, leave a comment, drop me a DM on Twitter or anything like that if you're just interested in coming back. And feature with me on your favourite episode or a discussion about anything about Doctor Who at the moment. But other than that, guys, remember to subscribe to Rebel Whovian, not just to me, but to subscribe to him. There you go. Check him out. The link will be in my description on this video. And remember to subscribe to my channel as well. Like this video if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you again very, very soon for another video. Goodbye.
Bye.